Okay, I think we are ready. How's everybody doing today? See if anybody's actually online. I have no idea if I have any viewers. I kept this on for quite a while. Let's see here. And people can actually hear me. That's kind of sort of important. Stream delay is stream delay. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Can somebody say yes if they can hear me? Yay! People can hear me. Excellent. Okay, so hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of FRVR, and we are an existing games publisher that is very excited about allowing anyone to make games. So the general idea, or sort of our vision, is that we think that when anyone can make games, we're going to get a lot more fun games, and we are trying to sort of build a product where anyone is able to go and do that over on FRVR.ai. This is my second sort of more official stream in allowing people to watch me making games with the tool, but anyone can get access to this tool by signing up on beta.frvr.ai and making then a creator application. We also have sort of monthly contests where we incentivize the community to use our tools and make amazing things by basically having a paid game developer contest. I believe we just had a contest go live for Endless Runner. There was a conversation in the last stream. Somebody proposed that we do an Endless Runner. I thought that was a great opportunity to make a contest around a theme that the community is excited about. So that's what the contest is going to be now. I'm just going to share the link to the contest information here on all the different platforms. Boop, boop. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to multi-stream for the first time. So we're doing Twitch, we're doing YouTube, and we're doing Discord at the same time. We have a Discord for the AI product as well if you want to join that. I'm not going to share a link to that because I'm too lazy to do that, and I don't know how to get a link quickly, right? But I think we should be doing an Endless Runner today. The question is, what kind of Endless Runner? It's a fairly large segment. You have Geometry Dash sort of sideways scrolling Endless Runners. You have the 3-lane into the screen sort of Subway Surfer style. You have more of a maze-like. Also into the, I can't even remember what that's called. I had it earlier. Temple Run, I think it's called, right? So there's a bunch of different types of Endless Runner. So what type would you guys be the most excited about making? And we have Moga Walker saying that I need to key my stream to be faster. Yeah, and I have no idea how to do that, so I'll have to figure that out. That's gonna be good fun. I'm an absolute amateur streamer. Like, this is not what I do, right? Like I'm doing this because I'm very excited about what we're building and I want to share, and I love making games. Yeah. So we're like if I'm bad at talking into a microphone, that's probably why. If my picture quality is bad, that's probably why. If all the different sort of stuff that you have to do when you stream is bad, that's probably why. Okay, so there's at least one way for a sideways scrolling. So that's super interesting. Okay, let's just get started. I don't have an infinite amount of time today, so let's create a game. So let's go in here and say Endless Runner Pro, sideways Endless Runner. Let's see what the AI comes up with here. It's gonna be fun. Let's have the AI create that. So what's happening right now is fundamentally we sort of gave the AI enough context that can go generate the first version of this game that we want to create here. It's probably not going to be good, but then from there we can go and iteratively with incremental updates turn this into the game that we want to do. last time we did one of these streams, and I promise we'll turn this into some long form content that anyone can view on YouTube and whatever. Like I just got an editor involved in turning it into it. But last time when we did this, we did it in a fashion where we were very sort of dogmatic, like no looking at the code, pretending that I'm not a developer, which I very much am. I don't think we're going to do this time. Today we're going to cheat a little bit, look at the code while we're coding, and then make decisions on the things we ask the AI to do based on our understanding of the code, right? So this would be closer to how somebody who knows the code would do it. I'm going to try not to do any code manually, which the platform also supports. So that's going to be a different stream. Once in a while, I enjoy just pretending that I'm a fully competent developer and the AI is just an assistant. But today we are a code competent AI user, right? So that's the mode that we're going to be in today. The very first version of the game that the AI has created, it is very much not what we want, right? So oh great, my face is in the way. That's fine, I don't care. So first of all, it didn't factor in the fact that we wanted a sideways scroller. It's sort of bottom to up. So we definitely do not want that, right? So we have to go and instrument the AI to do that. I probably didn't do the best initial prompting. So there's two options at this point on the platform. Like you could either start again, right? It's perfectly viable to say, not what I wanted. Let's just start over, right? Let's just get rid of this thing, right? Or what we're going to try here is we're basically just going to correct the AI and basically saying, oh, this is a top-down runner where you're running from the button up towards the screen. What I would really like is a sideways runner where I seem to be running from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. Please update the obstacles such that they move from the left of the screen to the right of the screen towards the player. There's also a lot of different interactions you can have in the context of an endless runner, right? So maybe that's what I asked for. I'm unsure. Please reverse the direction of the obstacles. That might have been what I asked for. I'm a little bit unsure, but it's not actually what I wanted. So there we go. So now at least the obstacles are coming in from the right direction, right? So what I'm imagining here that we're going for is probably something a little bit closer to Geometry Dash, which is an absolutely fantastic game, right? So we sort of have that thing. So we would definitely want a floor on this game. Please add a floor below the character. So it's creating a floor asset, adding in a class for the floor, and it's adding it in. Okay, so now we have a floor down here. Let's go over to the assets tab, and I think I wanted. Let's make it white just for now, so it's easy to see. Let's make it twice as big. Okay. Please add gravity to the character such that it is able to jump when pressing the mouse. Make it stand on the floor. Let's see if we can sort of get it to add in and the capabilities for the character to be on the floor and be able to jump. Oh, here. So what happened here is the AI wrote some code that is invalid. We automatically detected it, and then we automatically fixed it, right? So now you can see when I click, we get a little bit of jumping. It's not particularly exciting, right? Like that is not the greatest jump in the world. Before moving on, I'm gonna increase the size of the character though, because that can be a issue with the system as it exists right now. I've seen by experience that okay, somebody actually, let me just fix that already. Somebody is saying my face is too big and I'm in the way, and I would tend to agree with that. Let's see if I can just here's my video. Where's my video? That's my video. Ooh, we're gonna go up here where I'm a little bit less in the way. I'm not gonna go a lot smaller. Yay! You can better see the game now. Yay! Fantastic. Okay, great. So let's just move that out of the way, right? There we go. Nobody saw that. Uh, much better, right? This is very, like now my streaming is very FRVR.ai specific, right? Because that is a great spot for my face to be for this particular product and absolutely nothing else. So this is great. Um, let's make the character larger here. So here's the player. You can see over in the assets tab here, there was automatically an asset created for the player as a function of the source code that was created, right? So I think we want to go and say we are significantly larger here, and I don't think we want a square character. Other way around. Yeah, I'm not good at this. There we go. So now we have a character here, right? So I think we want to significantly increase how high we're able to jump. Increase how high we're able to jump by 10x. Let's try that. Yeah, so that's that's not fantastic, right? So apparently the gravity that is in here is not sort of the kind of gravity that you would expect from a computer game. So it's more sort of a fixed amount that you face down, and then there is a when you jump, you basically just moved up a certain amount of pixels. It's not exactly the kind of jump I want, right? So we would want to change that into another system where the character have velocity. So update the system such that the character has velocity, and when you jump, simply set the velocity to negative. Again, I know how to code, so I can speak to the system in a way that is sort of appropriate to a developer, right? So now we basically have sort of a more classical gravity-based animation for jumping. And I just realized we are probably trying to do Geometry Dash, which has a square character. So let's actually revert this stupid decision I just did in terms of the size of or the rotation of the character, right? Double how high I'm able to jump. That's pretty good, right? There are already sort of stuff that is flying into the screen. So there's these things here. They're not great right now. It's not a great level or anything like that. But at least there's some level of challenge on the product as it exists right now. An interesting thing about sort of these sideways endless scrollers that we have in here is that they generally sort of have platforms that comes in the screen. And that would be something that we would want to try to replicate in this endless runner here. So add a platform class that gives me platforms I can stand up, that also comes in from the right of the screen moving towards the left. Let's see if we can persuade the AI to do this. So platform class, and then we spawn some platforms. We want the update loop to contain those platforms. So that's a platform, right? So assuming that had been down where I'm actually at, I should have been able to jump on that, right? So let's see if we can magically randomly get a platform in that I can stand on. Okay, so that's quite interesting. So now I'm stuck in the platform. I'm clicking the screen. Nothing happening here, right? So most likely what is happening is that the intersection code basically says if you're standing on a platform, move you to the platform position, and then you're not allowed to move from there. And we would have to go and try to instruct the AI to fix that. So I should be able to jump from a platform when standing on it. Also, it looks like my center of my character is where it's aligned to the platform. I should be standing on top of the platform. Please align the platform and the player such that that happens. Let's see if we can fix this. So it broke it on the ground, but let's see if it works on the platforms now, right? So there we go. I can't jump from a platform. I still seem unable to jump when I am standing on a platform. Please fix this. Let's fix one thing at a time. So sometimes it can be beneficial. Like what I tried to do there is I tried to do two things at the same time. And similar to when you're coding something yourself, it can be beneficial to attack problems one at a time, right? So rather than having the AI try to do 92 things at once, ask the AI to do one thing at a time, right? So let's see if we fixed it here. No, still can't jump. So this is where we're going to start cheating, right? So I know how to code, so I can look at the code, try to figure out what is going on. Why am I unable to jump when standing on a platform, right? So here I am on a platform. And it looks like when I am on a platform, my velocity is set to 0, right? So the second I'm intersecting with a platform, I'm basically unable to jump, right? So it looks like you're setting the velocity to 0 when I am standing on a platform. Only set my velocity and player position if my velocity is currently positive, allowing me to jump off a platform when I'm standing on it. So let's see if this fixes the potential issue here, right? Nope, it did not. Okay, that is great. Okay, so velocity is added up here, right? Which means that by the time we are down here to test on velocity, we already have a velocity that is larger than 0, which is why this statement here is still going to be true, right? So we would want to try to fix that in the context of this code here, right? So move the code where you increase the velocity to the bottom of the update method. Let's see if this works. So moving code around is something the AI can be quite bad at. Yeah, so see, it just injected it the same place again. So that is something I'm working on. We're working on updating the system to allow the AI better to be able to interject code at a specific line. So that is an interesting challenge right now. It's one we are aware of and one we are working on, right? So while we could probably eke out a way to have the AI do the specific thing we wanted, we probably want to do something else, right? And for whatever reason, it added this previous velocity at some point, right? Which is fundamentally what we want, right? We in this platform intersection code, we would want it to check on previous velocity rather than on current velocity, right? So in the platform jumping related code in update method, please use previous velocity for the velocity check rather than self.velocity. This is coding by proxy, right? I'm asking it very specifically to do a very specific thing. That is the thing I wanted to do, right? So that was not particularly great. So let's go and undo that, right? So the thing about the system is that it's very iterative in nature. And a general thing you would want to do is if you get an unexpected result, it's very often beneficial to basically just go and say, nope, not what I wanted. Let's go back, right? So we have gone back now. And let's see if we can fix this again. So in the player update method, use player previous velocity for the platform's intersection test. Let's see if we can update only this one. Yeah, we did now, right? Let's see if we can jump from a platform then. Also, I can jump a lot higher now. Great. Let's see here. So we jump up to the platform, and it's still resetting. So why is it resetting, guys? What is wrong here? If it's on a platform, it is intersection a platform. If previous velocity is larger than 0. Oh, I guess so. We have a loop here, right? So previous velocity down here comes down here, and then it goes up again, right? So it's it will still get stuck here. So instead of happening in one frame, it now happens in 2 frames. So we have previous velocity, and we have previous velocity here, and the first tick, this is false, so it keeps doing its thing, and then in the second one, it gets updated. So we need another solution. Let's actually just redo these 2 things here because I was out on a sidetrack. I was not writing good code. I was just guessing at how we were able to solve this. We need a different solution here, right? Let's see, what can we do? Actually, I want to test one thing because I just observed when I jump up into a platform, it snaps me up. So I think there's something else going on. Oh, so there's 2 checks for platforms, right? So Actually, let's in the game update method, remove the code related to platform intersection. Okay, let's just try this here. So I think we might have had an issue where it was intersecting or doing test with the platform intersection twice. Let's see. Come on, give me a platform I can jump to. Yeah, okay, so turns out the problem was somewhere completely different. I didn't spend enough time reading the code, but now we can jump out on a platform and we can jump to the from a platform, right? So let's just wait for a new platform to appear. Oh, there we are. So now I can sort of jump up the screen, up the platforms. This is not a particularly great level, right? Because everything is very clearly random. And the question is, can we have the system build a better level for us that is more engaging to play? Like we have a foundational sort of experience that works now, but it's honestly not that engaging. Oh, that's one thing I want to fix first. So right now the character when it's intersecting is sort of half blocked off. I'm pretty sure this is like the half height of the character, right? And that's because the anchor point of the character is set at the middle of the thing. It's up here in the code. Well, it's not in here because it's not set up yet, but please move the anchor point of the character to the bottom rather than the center. Oh, BGG is requesting that we do a update to the game where if you hold for 1 second, you drop off the platform. I'm adding that to the nice to have list in case we get to it, but I actually really like that idea. Did we manage to move the anchor point of the player here? See, so the anchor is still the same. So whatever I did that did not do the thing. Please move the player graphics anchor Y to 1. Now we're just being specific with the AI. Again, I'm still not doing it. What's up with that? Oh, it updated the platform. That is not what we wanted. For the player graphics asset, please set anchor Y to 1. Woo. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is unintended side effects on the intersection code, right? So the way it detects it if it's on the platform is it currently intersecting, right? So right now when we move the anchor, the anchor point, it only intersects every second frame because it moves up and then down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So we'll have to try to figure out how to work around that. I'm just gonna, honestly, I'm just gonna cheat ever so slightly on this, right? And the reason it kind of worked before is that it was moving the player graphics, half a player graphics up, but the platform is still center aligned, right? And I think DJam on the channel proposed that we actually move the anchor points on the platforms instead. So let's try that instead. I think that might be a better solution. We're still going to have some of the same issues, but I think it's going to be significantly less if we actually move the anchor points on the platform. So please set the platform graphics anchor Y to 0. And that will only work for the platforms because it's not the ground, right? So let's jump on the platform, see what happens, and then we can experiment with the. Now I actually have to be good at the game. Yeah, so that's basically exactly what we want, right? So we're still finding ourselves intersection into the general floor, right? And you can sort of see that's the code that is happening here, where I seem to sink halfway into the floor rather than being standing on the floor. Please fix that. see if the AI can figure it out on its own. So now we're standing on the right time, and now it broke the platforms, right? So the reason it's broken the platform is because it changed the anchor Y of the player asset. So let's do that again. I seem to sink halfway into the floor. Please fix this for the floor without changing the player anchors. So now we're just asking it to redo it, but without. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's actually a beautiful solution. Just change the player flow. I love that. That's great. So now we are able to stand on our platforms, right? We would want to, if we want this to be like a high speed endless runner, we don't want the players to first be able to see the obstacles and the platforms and whatever that they're intersecting with, sort of halfway between the screen. Like basically every space that is back here is just a waste of opportunity to understand what is coming in, and particularly because FRVR.ai games right now sort of have this mobile aspect ratio. So what I think I want to do is I want to take this character here and I want to move it back here, right? So move the horizontal position of the player such that it's much closer to the left of the screen. Let's see if we can figure that out. Yeah, that's better, right? But I still think we want to move it a little bit further to the left. Move the player even further to the left. Yep, that's a pretty good position for the player, right? So now the players, when you're playing the game, has the opportunity to have more time to observe the things coming towards you, which gives you a higher chance of actually being able to play the game. Then, so here's an interesting question. So right now we have like Mario style platforms, right? So you're able to jump up over a platform and then land on the platform. The question is, do we want to have that style of platforms, or do we want to have sort of a more limiting environment where a platform can be a roof for your character, right? So what does the community think? Should you, if I jump now, should I stand on this platform or should I bounce on the roof of that platform? What is more engaging? Smoother with no. Okay, so no roofs. Okay, so we're not doing roofs. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it's actually when it creates a platform, it's using the floor asset. So we would want to change that. Use a different assets for the platforms. Woo! There we go. So now we have a separate asset class, which means we can also better sort of decide the size of the platforms, right? So over here we now have a platform class. Let's make those white as again, because that seems to be the color that we like. Let's make them somewhat larger. This is great. So Octa is asking a question: how would we make the enemies not intersect with the platforms, right? So how is it that we can have enemies exist in the environment, but without them intersecting with the platform? I think we'll address that very quickly, but there's a few things I want to do before then, because I think to create an engaging game experience, we want a few things. We want the game to become harder as time goes on, and we also don't want it to feel like everything is happening on the same plane, right? So I think we can do is we can update the enemies such that they are progressively moving faster and faster as time progresses, and then have the platform have the same timing, right? So let's try doing that. make the enemies move 25% faster. So first I want the enemies to be a little bit faster than the platforms as the game starts. Oh, so it actually updated the platforms here as well, right? So we don't want that. The enemies should move 25% faster than the platforms. Let's see if this works. So now, so what we've done now is we created a little bit of depth of gameplay by having the enemies move faster than the platforms. It's also going to make the game a little bit more challenging, right? Because now you have to time both your platforms and your enemies at the same time, sort of mentally while you're playing the game. And then what we would want to do is we would want the enemies to speed up as time goes on, right? Make the enemy speed up as time progresses in the game. BGG wants our gravity to be a little bit less aggressive. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that, so I think we're going to play with that in a moment. Right now, we're just testing that the enemies actually gets faster and faster, which is always a very hard thing to do because now we actually have to play the game right. Like, so you have to sit there and subjectively decide if the AI did the thing you wanted it to do. I think it does. Like, it looks like the enemies are getting faster and faster. But for me to actually sort of truly validate this, I would have to play long enough without dying to validate that that's the case. So let's see here. I'm going to cheat and look at the code. I think that's more reasonable. What's elapsed time in this context here? Is there a elapsed time variable? Yeah, so there's a game update speed here, right? So a way we could validate is basically just make the speed of the enemy speed up 10 times as fast. And this is a debug query, right? You know, we actually don't expect to keep this experience, right? It's basically just to test, is it doing the thing we want it to do, right? So yeah, I think they're speeding up, right? So we can just undo that. Half the impact of the gravity of the player. So let's make it more moon-like, like BGG and YouTube ask for. So now it's like you can jump to high now, right? But it feels smoother on the we have sort of more moonline gravity. So half how high I can jump. Okay, so here's a feature I actually want. I want to be able to see the last change that the AI did to the game in the code, and you can't right now, right? So I actually have no idea what it just did. So let's undo that. Let's have a look at the code. Half as high as I can jump by decreasing the modified vector when jumping. Okay, I want to be able to jump a little bit higher than this. Increase my jump height by 25%. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. BGG and YouTube ask if it looks better on higher speed monitors. That sort of depends on your browser, and it depends on your particular computer, right? You know, so the game engine FRVR.ai is built on is frame rate independent, such that if you have a screen that is able to do like 5,000 frames a second, then we will show in 5,000 frames a second. There is something around like the physics simulation and whatever that is not automatically sort of broken down into incremental steps at that higher resolution. But that's actually something that we are looking at updating, such that if you have a very high frequency screen and you're having movements that move around, we sort of interpolate the movement of the character in that screen space. But that's something we're working on right now. it is 60 frames a second right now. That is a correct assumption, right? In terms of the of how many, like what's the frames per second. So let me just see how I'm looking for time. 1 second here. I'm just gonna switch you guys over to my face while I look at my calendar. Okay. So we have about half an hour left before I have to leave. So I want to get the most out of that, right? So make sure platforms and enemies never overlap. So that should basically do the fairly simple task that Octo was asking about. Can we prevent the platforms and the enemies from appearing in the same space, right? And the answer is absolutely, right? It's fairly simple in the spawn phase. I think we might want to do something where double the pace of which platforms spawn at. So now the platform spawns much more frequently, which makes it more likely that we can actually jump up on different platforms. It also makes the game significantly easier. Now we have a lot more opportunity to not touch a enemy. So we would at the same time want to update how quickly we spawn enemies. Double the spawn rate of enemies. I just want to see something here really quickly. Yeah. So while my character is in the air, say not standing on the ground nor standing on the platform, make it rotate. Yay! That's just adding a bit of game polish, right? So I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Egelami is proposing that we sort of limit the height wherein platforms are able to spawn such that they never spawn clipping into the ground, which I think is a great idea, right? You know, the question is if we can be even more specific around making the platforms fun. Let's just go simple. Prevent the platforms from spawning at the very top and the very bottom of the screen. That should basically do it, right? You know, it's super simple, right? Yoo-boo! So one thing that we are really truly missing in the game as it exists right now is like a good particle system. And particles is one of those things that just make games feel so much better, right? You know, but we can go and sort of build our own particle system for each game that we do, right? So what we can do here is add particles that spawns from the center bottom of my character when I jump. So Priddle is asking, would it be possible to move the platforms or enemies? I'm not entirely sure what the question is. Priddle, can you elaborate on your question? So that's, I think the particles are spawning too high up. Let's just have a look at this here. So there's a jump particle. They have directionality. That's exactly what we want. When we jump, that is on down. That's the player jump method. We spawn particles. add half the height of the player to particle Y. Make all particles having a negative Y speed. Okay, so it has direction, right? So that's not what we want. When spawning particles, make sure the direction of the particles can only be upwards. Not exactly what I wanted. Actually, I'm just going to ignore that. Let me just change the color of the particles, and then they can overlap the ground, which is fine. So here we have a particle. We want it to be, it was slightly gray, and then you can actually see them all the time, so that's fine. Should probably also spawn particles when you land, actually, right? So it's both a jump and a land thing. Also spawn particles when you land on ground or a platform. It's not just like, it's not the best particles I've ever made, right? But I think for the sake of this stream, we're just gonna keep them as is. I've let it be an exercise for the viewer to go and make them better. We want some level of score in the game, right? Again, we are running out of time, so I want to make sure we actually make a fully integrated games in the limited amount of times we have. So, this is actually an opportunity to make the game more engaging as well. So, add points elements to the game that can be picked up by the player. The points element should be green. When you pick up a point, your score should increase by 1. So now there's one more element that you can pick up. Show my score at the top center of the screen. Oh, Octo is saying make the points only spawn on top of the platform. So kind of like that. So they're like coins, right? So you're picking up coins. Okay. Make the points elements move as fast as the platforms. So first of all, we wanna align the speed. That did not work. What determines how quickly platforms move? Okay, so that's the width of the platform. And so the reason it doesn't work is like the platform speed is defined by the width of the platforms, and the point speed is defined by the width of the points. So for the speed of the points and the platform, use a globally defined shared variable. That still did not work. Why did that not work? See one of you guys can spot it before me. Points of the exit last time. Okay, so these speed up. Okay. So in the update code on point, the moving of the points, so updating self.x should be the same code as it is in platforms. So now they should... Why do they not have the same speed? No. That is funky. Are we calling platform update twice? Oh, yeah. In-game update, don't update the platforms. The update method is called automatically. Oops, that resulted in an error. In the game update method, delete the 3 lines that updates the platform. Double the speed of the platforms and points. The enemies are too fast now. Half the speed of the obstacles and only the obstacles. Okay. Let's see, we want these to be larger. Oh, and for everybody who's watching for the first time, you can actually generate images here. So you can say pixel art coin for platform computer game. Let's generate an assets for the coins here. And why do intersecting of the coins not always update? Let's have a look here. Oh, so this is interesting. So this code here, right? That is completely bonkers. That is most definitely the AI hallucinating stuff. That is probably not like what we want, right? So first of all, the update method here is automatically called, and this intersection code here, while it's the right code, is in a completely wrong location, right? So this intersection code here should be in an update method somewhere, not in this global space that is right now, right? So let's go and have the AI fix that. So in the spawn point method, delete the lines where you loop through the points and set score and call points update. Let's see. Slow AI is slow. Not sure what's going on here. We can go and look at the asset we generated here in the meantime. So here's a coin. A beautiful, beautiful coin. I think we want this here, this one, but I want to crop it a little bit first. So we want to crop that off. We want to crop the bottom off. I guess not. Let's actually just go and erase that stuff there. Well, that's not some annoying UI. We have a JavaScript error. Let's just reload. And the good thing is everything is saved on the server, right? So when stuff breaks, you can just undo. That is very definitely a bug related to this sizing thing. So I'm gonna go make a bug report on that. That's not great. This is the reason that this is a beta product, right? But let's just delete this here. I don't want this bottom here. And I don't want this here either. We can save that. So we get that. Oh, yeah, it's also a bit up there. I want to get rid of. Okay, so you can change the size, the brush size once, and then it breaks. And Octo is asking for a square brush. I think that's an excellent idea, an absolutely excellent idea. So I'll make sure that happens. Doop, 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 doop. Cleaning up. Go away. We want to save that. Then we actually want to edit that because we want to crop that bottom out, right? And we want to crop the left out and we want to crop the right out. Oh, I just realized it cut out this top up here. So we might actually not want to use this. So another way of addressing bad cropping is to go in, edit the asset, and then basically just cropping the asset down to the size that you want, approximately. So you crop out all the stuff that the system incorrectly crops out. And what we'll do again is we'll try to use AI to remove the background again, right? So here we have a much better asset than what we had before. We still have this noise down here, but you can see the additional context of saying this is the section we want was enough to allow the AI cropper to maintain sort of this thing here rather than background removing that. So we actually have a much nicer asset now that you can use. And yeah, the system is still broken, so I have to reload to go and remove this stuff here. But let's fix the eraser stuff here and save that. And now we have sort of fancy coins over here that are less bad, right? Let's make them a little bit bigger, 150. Okay, so let's try some fun thing here. Make sure coins only spawn on top of a platform. Actually, when thinking about it just now, make sure that coins or points are something that spawn in the center of a platform randomly. People are telling me there's already a square brush. Is that a square brush? Am I an idiot? That's a square brush. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Stupid, amazing developers working at FRVR already having built the stuff we want. Yeah, let's try that again. A square brush right there. Okay, there's something wrong with this UX, so we need to fix that. I'm not gonna fix this thing right now, right? So let's go and actually, so we were fixing a bunch of bugs over here. Let me just have a look at this again. Let's reword that. We're talking about how this code is actually fundamentally wrong, right? You know, so this code here is it's not great because we're calling update in here, which is unnecessary. And this intersection code that actually allows me to pick up a point only runs when a new coin is spawned. And that's absolutely not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're just going to trash all of the spawn point code that exists right now, right? You know, so we're just going to get rid of all of it. Remove all of the spawn point code. Just delete the entire function. Okay, so no points are being spawned now. What we want to do then is we want to make the points spawn on platforms at random. So at around 50% chance, spawn a point in the center of a platform. We probably have to move this, right? Because that was bad. That was bad instruction. The problem with the AI is it will generally give you what you, that worked. Not unhappy about that. We can't pick up the points right now because we moved that code. So let's go up here. Let's see. I just want to have a look at the points class. Okay. In the point update method, please see if the point intersects with the player. If the points intersect with the player, remove the point and increment the score by 1. Whoop, not what we want. Let's try that again. When picking up a point, I should get a point. Simpler instruction sometimes is better than the very specific thing I was trying to do there. Yeah, so that works now. So there's something here. Like, I don't know why the AI has decided to start calling these update methods. It's most definitely wrong, right? So that is additional instructions to the AI that we need to go and fix. In the game update method, update on points should not be called. This method is called automatically by the game engine. And that interpreted that as a question. So that's even worse, right? So let's go back. Please update the game.update method such that points.update is not called in the points loop. We're being hyper specific now because I just want to get this thing to work, right? Okay, so that's a misinterpretation of what I just asked for, right? Please delete the for loop that calls points.update from the game.update method. There we go. So now we get what we want, right? I think this would count as cheating, right? Because it's basically coding by proxy, right? I didn't code this manually, but it would have been faster for me to just edit the source code than what I did, right? So not entirely what we would want, right? But hey, we are in a cheating mood today. Again, we are running out of time, so we probably want to play a little bit with sound effects because I think I managed to make that work on the stream, right? So please play a sound effect when landing on a platform or the ground. Doop. So now we have a sound effect over here. That is a landing sound effect. And we can generate a new sound. So I want a soft impact sound. This is going to be really interesting. Can you guys hear this? The answer is yes. Okay. None of these are great. Section sound. I want like the sound of somebody punching into a pillow. Yeah. We can try applying one of these, right? So new sounds. I think one of these could work. Lag. So I think this one might work. It's definitely not being played right now. Is there something? Let's see. Why is this sound not playing when you actually land? Is this... There we go. Yeah, it's a bit low, you're right, but we can just fix this way. Well, that's not great, right? So again, no, here we're sort of seeing the intersection code, right? So you're always falling down into a platform. and it is preventing you from falling through the platform, but it's playing the sound every single time, right? So we need something. The land sound keeps being played when intersecting with a platform. Please write some code where we only play the land sound if your velocity is above a reasonable threshold. So let's see here. So I wonder what is a reasonable threshold here. That's a, yeah. So what is the velocity here? The gravity is 2.5. See. Decrease. Where's my microphone? Decrease the velocity threshold on playing the land sound on platforms to 4. Let's see if that will play now. Nope. Nope. I'm just going to cheat here. Let's just try 1. Too lazy to get the AI to do it, so I just did it manually. Let's see here. That is interesting. Okay, so let's talk about complex features. So in here, in the source code of the game, what I did here is I opened up the developer console. And I think the system actually support is you can use the JavaScript console for debugging. I want to know what the velocity here is. And I think I know the issue already. It's because the velocity is actually negative when you impact the platform. It's not positive, right? Oh, the platform intersection code is not there at all. That is super interesting. So where does... okay, so the observant viewer here will see that the velocity has been reset up here, and we test it later down. I'm not going to ask the AI to fix that because that's going to be a pain, but let's try this now. So it's 2.5 when you only have 1 tick falling. We want it to be larger than, let's say, 3. And now I need to manage to get to a platform without dying. Yay! And we can remove this debug code here. So let's go over here. Add a sound when I jump. We can get rid of the debugging here. So here's a jump sound. And see if we can get like a sort of a classical jump sound. Yeah, DJM, that, probably the right solution if you're just AI, but I'm running out of time, so I'm cheating a bit here. Definitely not the type of sounds we want for this. Okay. Do. Let's see. We're gonna add a few sounds, and then I sadly have to run. 1 second. I just have to check something. Okay. See. I think there was something here. Let's try this one here too. Stop lagging. Ah, that's too bad. Think we can use this maybe? Why is that not playing? Something about our sound integration that is not great. Okay, so yeah, we want to turn down that a little bit. Hey, but hey, we have sound. Oh, we need a pickup sound. Totally need a pickup sound. Play a sound when you pick up a point. Pick a point. A coin pick up. The computer game coin pickup sound. Can't spell. Let's try this. Oh, this one is perfect over here. That's a long reverb. I think I like it. That is perfect. That's definitely what we're doing. So, of course, an amazing thing about making games on FRVR.ai is that as soon as you created a game, it is shareable, right? So we can go over here in the Publish tab. And in the Publish tab, we already have the name. We have a description generated. We have a series of hashtags, which in this particular case was made as one log hashtag. So there's a bug there, which we need to address. So I'll work with the team on that. But we can go endless runner, arcade, runner, platform. And then we probably want to generate a new image for this. And a quite interesting thing we can do with the AI is we can also ask it questions. We don't necessarily have to have it generate code. So we can go over here in the History tab, and we can say, could you please generate the prompt that we would need to create an amazing banner for this image? So that is way too verbose, I think. So actually, let's try it. Let's just see. See if this is inside of what we can chunk into this input field here. See what comes out of that. Oh my God. So I didn't hit the save button when I updated the hashtags. So that's 100% on me. So maybe we should save that sort of as temporary. Like I'll look at that as well. It's definitely something that we should be looking at in future versions of the game. And we're just sitting here waiting for a new banner to generate. So image generation can be a little bit slow. Sadly, not something we can do anything about. This is the state of the art models that we're using right now. The good news is, of course, that things get like twice as fast every 7 months or something like that. So the next version of our banner generating AI we have should be faster than what's here right now. In addition, and I'm just going to do that right now, you can tab out while it's generating, and then you can return later and see your other generations. So let's just fix these here again. Runner, arcade, sideways, scroller. So let's just save those. Let's just see. So here's the images that it was generating. None of these are particularly good because there's like buttons in there. It's definitely not something we want. So let's go over here. And let's try generating a new banner here. Important. No buttons. No UX. No text. Just the gameplay banner. Let's see if we can be specific enough with the banner generation AI to make that exactly what we want. So I'm slowly wrapping up the stream here. I just want to generate a better banner before we publish the game, and then I'll share the link to this playable version. And I'll show you a little cool feature we have at the platform as well, where if you don't think I made the most amazing game, but you want to progress from where I left off, you actually have an opportunity to go and do that. Let's just make this generate. Let's see, is there anything we want? Like, I really want to reintroduce sort of the magical want button here as well, so you can sort of have it auto-generate the description over and over again. But I'm just going to update to say this, like, created on, I can spell. I think I did something similar for the first game I did. Let's just see. I think I had a theme for my naming here. Let's just see. Where's my last game here? Yeah, okay. So let's just do that again. Stream 2. Let's see if we got a better banner this time. It's not in there yet. Let's just see here. I am really running out of time. So for whatever reason, it failed to generate a new image. So we're just going to keep this one. Not going to make a better image than this. So let's make this publish. And we can preview this. So here's the game. It's now playable by anyone. I will share a link to all of you guys. Here you go. And as I said, a very cool feature that we have in here is that if you press the pause button up here, and you press this button here, you can go in and you can remix, and then you can continue on from where I left off. And I'm looking very much forward to see if any of you guys is able to turn this game into a better game that I've just created. So yeah, happy creation, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the stream today. It's been a pleasure making games with you again. I wish I had more time. I think in 1 more hour we could have really turned this into a more engaging game experience, but I'm not entirely unhappy in what we managed to do in 1.5 hours. So now the question is, how do I stop the stream, right?